At this game today, you guys were able to get things going. You had 9 hits, so you did create some traffic, but that home run from you, that was the difference maker in this game. What adjustments were you making to Matthews to get that swing?
Yeah, just a well-pitched ball game on both sides, really. Sometimes you got to grind and fight, and I was able to get into a hitter's count and able to put a good swing on and get one over the fence.
The offense is still looking to get going. You called me a little bit dramatic, respectfully, earlier, but what did you just see from the quality of at-bats this evening?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to go through a couple stretches here and there, and sometimes, luckily, we got a really good pitching staff, and we only scored 2 runs and still win a game. So good teams win close ball games. We'll get it going. It's the middle of the year. We'll be fine.
Talking about really good pitching, Eric Lauer, he's come over to this team and he's been excellent, but 6 no-hit innings. What was it like playing behind him today?
Yeah, he just filled up the zone. That's what pitchers are trying to do, throw strikes, keep us in it. We got a really good defense behind him and came in the game and threw up wonderful 6 innings and gave us a chance to win.
This is going to be a longer road trip. How important is it just for game 1 to get things going?
Yeah, especially after the last couple of days. Nice to get a first one on a long road trip, and hopefully we can get a series win tomorrow.
All right, Freddie, congratulations on this one tonight.
Thank you.
Dave, let's start with just the injuries. For Kyle Tucker, doctors announced lower back spasm. Are you concerned with that? What did you see there that just immediately seemed like you knew that he needed to come out?
Back spasmed up, and he took it was right when we took the field. And so, and I saw him take his at bat. I saw a little bit of wincing and kind of when he was jogging down to first base. And then once he got to second base, I think it was just more of just not seeing him move the right way and didn't want to put him in any more jeopardy. And so I felt it was just smart to just pivot right there.
Are you concerned with this injury, or do you think this could potentially be an IL stint? What do you think this just means moving forward?
Not overly concerned. Obviously, with the back, you got to be mindful. But he said he's had it before, and so he's played the next day, and he's also done it. I think he's taken a day off. So I think for me, it's just day to day. We'll see how he is, how he comes in tomorrow.
And then Dalton with the concussion protocol, how is he doing?
He's doing well. He passed the protocol test, but I guess you got to do it again in 24 hours. So tomorrow we'll do the same thing, but I would say it's pretty unlikely he'll be in there tomorrow, just to potentially give him another day.
Will you have to bring someone out here just in case?
We are going to bring someone just to kind of guard against that, but I'm not sure who.
Is Tucker going to go for imaging tomorrow?
No, not that I understand.
He says he's had that before. Has he had that this year at all?
No, not with us, no.
Eric Lauer was excellent. Obviously, you guys set it up so that he would come in second. For him to have 6 no-hit innings of work, what were you just seeing from him that allowed him to be so effective?
He was great. I don't think he had his best stuff, but I think that he did a good job of changing speeds, executing pitches, and letting those guys put the ball in play. And he controlled the pace of the game and took down a lot of hitters, got us to the 8th inning, and the bullpen was great. So he did a fantastic job tonight.
Y'all are the first team to get 50 wins this season. I mean, just thinking about everything that y'all have had to go through, whether it be your bullpen or whether it be your hitters. And I know you said a couple of guys have been searching for hits. What does that say? How does that speak to your team and the resilience of your team this year?
I think that's the word, resilience. And, there's a lot of things that we can't control, health, performance. So it's just guys got to be ready when called upon. And even tonight, to see Alex come in and make a really nice defensive play, throw out a couple hits, and then Chucky to come in cold and then, catch the way he did was huge for us. But we've had a lot of guys step up in place of some guys that have been hurt. But speaks to the depth and just also the mindset. We're just going to keep moving forward.
Sorry, back to Dalton for a sec. Was it that first foul tip?
It was. It squared him up, and he was a little groggy. And so, on the bench, talking to the training staff, they just kind of recommended to me that probably best we get him out.
Otani's kind of been looking like Otani here the last few weeks. So what are you kind of seeing from him?
He's just to take it. He's controlling the zone. There's a lot of balls down below that he's not chasing. He's getting into good counts, and when it is in his favor, he's putting good swings on it. So, yeah, that's when you can do that, when he can do that, there's just no one better.
It's kind of always James' power month. Like, are you sort of seeing that, especially with how the ball's coming off the bat lately?
Yeah, I didn't know that. Obviously, the way he has been this June, it's been really special.
And 9 hits today. Did you just like the quality of the bats a little bit better compared to what we saw over the weekend?
I did. I did. We didn't put up any crooked numbers, but, it was good to see just better at bats. And hopefully that carries over into tomorrow.
You just look at facing this team, the second time you faced them this year. How different did this one feel compared to the last one?
A lot better. The first one, they got me a little bit, so definitely wanted to make sure I had better command of the zone and, control of my stuff. And luckily enough, I was able to, get some early outs and some quick outs, so it worked out.
How much do you attribute to that being just the work that you've put in, the findings you've had since coming over to this organization?
I think it plays a huge role. I think that's, kind of exactly what I want to see, especially on days like today where, I don't feel like I have my best stuff or my best velo. I'm still able to command the zone and, execute pitches well. So, putting a lot of emphasis on the defense today was a huge part. And, it's something that, we definitely can do because, we have a defense that's that good. So, yeah, definitely felt a lot better about today as far as, command and control of the zone.
How did the communication go with Dave and the staff just leading into this, knowing let's preparing for following an opener today?
What was the beginning of that?
How did the communication just kind of go, and how much did it help maybe to have a heads up that this was going to be coming?
Yeah, they, Doc, told me pretty early on, they were thinking about it. We had a nice conversation about it. He explained his thoughts on it. I explained my thoughts on it, and we kind of, had a nice come together of, this is the plan, this is what we see, and we're not going to deviate from it. So I think that's huge, especially in this kind of situation where, some unknowns can creep in throughout the game, especially if, that first inning goes a little sideways or something. So, being up front and knowing what the plan is no matter what is really big.
The Dodgers said that you were dealing with a lower back spasm, and it's something that you felt before. Can you just describe when this started today or if it started recently and kind of how you're feeling now?
I really felt it when we went out for defense in between innings in the first. Back just lit up and went out there and just tried to hope that it would kind of calm down or go away or something. I'd just keep playing through it. So went through the bottom of the first like that, and then through that top of the second, went through the at bat and kind of on the bases and stuff, and it kind of was just still sticking around, still kind of there. So Doc just went ahead and put AC in and got me out of there.
Is this something that you have felt before or experienced before? And if so, is there a concern level with this?
I had it once, a couple years ago. It was just the one time. It didn't, the initial, when my back locked up, kind of felt like that, so I kind of knew what it was, but it wasn't, to the extent that it was that I had before, so hopefully that's good. We just got to kind of see how it goes tomorrow.
When you had it before, how long were you down? Were you in the lineup next day?
I don't know if it's going to go the exact same. The next day I came back the next day, the last time the next day I came back pretty good. I think I was in there the next series, but it didn't feel like how it did last time. It was a little bit, which is good. Last time it was lighting up every couple seconds or minutes or whatever, but here it was just that one time it lit up my whole back, and then after that kind of calmed down, but it's just super sore and smaller kind of spasms that I've kind of felt.
Are any movements in particular that make you feel it?
Yeah, kind of just more so just rotating, when you have to throw or swing a bat. I didn't really know how that first at bat was going to go because I was just basically seeing how I felt on deck, and finishing the swing kind of hurt. So I just went up there trying to hope that it'd go away or I could just keep going throughout the game with it. Ended up just swinging at the first pitch and then drawing a walk after that. So that's just kind of how it went.
You've been doing any stuff pre-game or anything that might have, any extra swings or anything that might have led to this?
I don't know. It could just be random. Might have felt a little something earlier, but nothing that I really noticed or kind of paid attention to or really bothered me. Kind of feel a little sick, so I'm sure that probably doesn't help, but kind of just happened. So
kind of given the way this year has gone so far, is it just kind of one of those here we go again type thing or something else?
I don't know. I mean, hopefully I can feel good, come in, wake up tomorrow and feel fine and get in there. We'll just kind of TBD on that. So we'll see how it goes.
Well-pitched ball game. Zebi got one early, but then didn't let it affect him the rest of the night.
Yeah, I mean, it was a well-played game all around, defensively on both sides. I thought Zebi did a good job. He left the changeup up, to maybe the greatest player of our generation, and he hit a homer, and then, Freddie got a ball. But overall, I thought he did a really good job. I thought we pitched really well. We held a really powerful offense kind of at bay, and we hit some balls hard, just we couldn't find any holes.
How much has Zebi matured in his last few outings to continue to grow and to have a successful outing like this, even though he didn't get the win?
Yeah, I mean, he gave us a chance to win, and I think that's really all you can ask out of your starting pitcher is just give us a chance to win. He did that. He gave up 2 runs, execution of pitches. I mean, I think we just see him continue to get better and better with his starts.
You talk about the defensive play of your team. The double play you turned off Ohtani is pretty impressive.
Yeah, it was a really nice play by Keish. I mean, good job getting to it, good spin. Kreidler made a nice job. I mean, to get a guy that runs that well, you have to execute everything perfectly, and we did.
Well, Zebi's been a guy who at times has given up crooked numbers. For him to escape from so many jams tonight, what does that kind of show you?
Just the ability to execute I think his full repertoire is what you saw tonight. I mean, he went back to it. He used the curveball. I mean, I think he only threw one curveball. It was a bad pitch, and that was the 0-2 one to call. But he used his entire pitch mix, which I thought was impressive.
What made Lauer
So, yeah, I mean, it's a guy we saw earlier in the year and we hit. He's changed, he got to a different organization. He's changed. I think the thing that made him effective today was the ability to execute the cutter inside to right-handers and then through the four-seam fastball off it.
Do you have an update on Abel?
Yeah, so with Abel, he's got swelling in the elbow joint. It's basically a renew of the old injury. That's what we saw in the MRI. There's no damage to the ligament, but we will get a second opinion from Dr. Meister. So, is that it? The last thing is we will announce the starter for tomorrow later. Joe is not going to start tomorrow.
Your outing, that first at bat, was pretty entertaining, but you really put that behind you and went to work.
I don't know if I call it entertaining, but I was able to bounce back. There's a reason he makes as much money as he does, and he's one of the greatest to do it. But able to bounce back well, and then the second, third AB, keep him off balance enough. I'd like to have that first one back for sure.
What were you thinking when you went into that at bat? What were you trying to do against him, and what happened?
Yeah, I told myself, to get ahead, and I didn't do that. And in the 2 home runs I gave up, I fell behind both him and Freddie. But I really felt like in order to, have success against this lineup, to, just get ahead and keep him off balance. Wasn't able to do that on those 2 ABs, but able to work around it.
How much does it say about your maturity that you were able to put that home run behind you and then just go right back to work and put together the outing that you did tonight?
Yeah, I think that's big. I think that's just part of, getting starts in this league and, realizing that it's not going to be perfect every outing, and, they're also really good. And just to keep fighting and give the team a chance to, win a game.
Is that what pushed you tonight, that the game was that close? Buck came right back, answered it.
Yeah, but
wanted to give you guys a chance to try to steal this one from you.
Yeah, that Buck home run was huge to answer there in the bottom of the first, and then just to give up that Freddie home run, kind of killed the momentum there of the game. So would love to have that pitch back, but that's just part of it.
What goes into that many escapes? That's something that at times has been a challenge for you, and you were in trouble several times and got out of it.
Yeah, just trying to execute pitches. When runners get on or there's traffic or whatever, just trying to slow the game down as much as possible, and really focus on just that next pitch and executing and trusting that regardless of the runners or whoever's at the plate, it's good enough to get them out.
Were you surprised it was Pete that came out in the 6th with Edmund coming up, or do you think Shelty's coming out there?
I try not to think about that a ton. When we're out there, I knew pitch count was getting up there, but I'm always going to want the ball and out there and try and finish the inning.
Just what was the conversation with Pete?
I asked if I felt good, and then I was good, and then we kind of just went over hey, here's what we like to Edmund, and the next couple hitters coming up.
Freddie Ball showed up as 91 fastball. Was that what was going on there?
No, it was a cutter that kind of backed up on me there. It wasn't a great pitch, and there's a reason he's Freddie Freeman. He doesn't miss those. I think had the pitch execution been a little better, maybe a little different result. But yeah, it wasn't the best pitch of the night, and he didn't miss it.
It's the fourth time this season you've had 100 or more pitches. So how do you feel like your body's responding to a higher volume each outing?
Yeah, I feel good. The work I put in each week. Trying to get out there every fifth or sixth day, and feel as close to 100% as possible. And I give a big credit to the training staff and the strength staff here. They do awesome. In between starts, helping us out where they need to.